Talking of disclosures, one disclosure from former President Trump is that he would fire you, ultimately. Unsurprising to you, I'm sure.
So, Caroline, I'll let you go to your next question.
A lot to get on with, and your term is what, until June 2026? But will it run until then? Many feel that perhaps not.
I want to switch gears for a second here. Got to get your opinion on what we just saw just this week. Eye-popping deal, really, for Stripe to acquire a stablecoin platform, a more than $1 billion deal in this industry. When you look at a deal like that, do you say, okay, maybe we sell Ripple, or at least partner with another large financial technology firm to expand in the world of stablecoins?
Look, I look at that as a very positive sign that this industry is just becoming more and more mainstream, more and more integrated, and in more demand and different payment flows. So I view it as a very positive thing for the industry. As you probably know, Ripple is about to release our own stablecoin called RLUSD. I think the stablecoin market's going to continue to grow, and I think Stripe is clearly indicating they think the same.
But we're making a very intentional push to invest into the intersection of crypto and AI because we believe the convergence of these two technologies are going to transform our entire digital lives from consumers to corporations. And our core belief is that crypto and blockchain-based systems are a natural complement to AI, and they'll make the technology more transparent, efficient, and secure. So today we released our new thesis on the future of crypto AI, and there are three main intersection points we're really excited about and we're investing in. So one is an AI agent economy that's powered by crypto and blockchain tech. Two, decentralization of the AI stack so that the benefits of AI can be delivered in a more grassroots, bottoms-up, user-centric way. And then three, applying AI and LLMs to on-chain applications to unlock a whole set of new use cases that we can't really imagine yet. So it's been a very active year for us. We continue to invest broadly across the crypto and on-chain ecosystem, but we're definitely leaning in on these intersection points for crypto and AI.
Could refs be actually replaced, or at least be aided by things like robots and artificial intelligence? And take a listen to this.
We're hoping through Hawkeye-type technology that we can automate those calls. So it would just be Laker ball, you'd quickly play on. Sure, there'll be some animation that will quickly show, so it's not a black box, what the AI is demonstrating. Because remember, in Hawkeye, it's sometimes people watch it, think it's just a video replay. It's not video. It's an AI recreation of the ball hitting. And I think if we could take that category of calls, automate them.
Going to work on calls? Is it every play, or is it just when there's some controversy?
Yeah, so, look, I think Adam Silver wants AI to speed up the game. So to avoid going to replay and taking a look, you would have automated calls similar to how tennis uses it.
Yep.
He mentioned that Hawkeye in the bite. So that the crowd would see an animation and you'd figure out if a player stepped on a line or who did the ball go off of. He used the example of, sometimes it's like there's two hands on the ball. So maybe you could come up with an animation that showed that, and you could see the crowd participating it, liking it. And maybe the best part is, from a player perspective, there's nobody to argue to, right? You can't argue with the robot. So even that will speed up the game a little bit. So that's the type of call, I think, that you'll see it, and it won't replace officials altogether. So
comes as growing number of economists have been raising red flags about AI cutting workforces inside emerging economies. Call centers, IT consulting, billing, all seen as vulnerable. The IMF noting that 10 to 15% of India's workforce could be substituted by AI. Wong says what makes India even more compelling, though, is the country's large population of 1.4 billion. And yes, this is all part of his big international trip. Earlier this week, he was in Denmark, where the country's first supercomputer was launched. He's then scheduled to go to Japan in mid-November. Morgan Stanley analyst Joseph Moore tells us that the growing sovereign AI opportunity that is partnering with governments already brings in about $10 to $15 billion a year and has grown multiples since 2023. He said this should be one of the higher growth parts of NVIDIA's business going forward.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And also, guys, make sure you go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have Gary Gensler asked about if Trump gets elected. since Trump advised that he would get fired. And of course, Gary Gensler didn't answer. But never forget, Gary Gensler was the NWO's chess piece that kicked the regulation can down the road so the emerging markets could rise first. And we have Ripple XRP, Brad Garlinghouse, asked if he would sell the company or partner with a bigger company. But we see Ripple's go, and that's to become its own bank. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Coinbase. Remember, guys, they announced that they had bots that paid each other. Now they're integrating AI with these digital assets. And like he stated, it's going to change everything that we know about the economy and the way we live. Because these robots, algorithms, and drones are going to be able to run this economy without a human involved. And I'm going to touch on that later. But we have Adam Silver of the NBA says AI will be the new refs. Yes, guys, you heard that correct. And the only thing you got to do is add in these sensors along with AI, and we can clearly see where this is headed. Now, add in the metaverse, and then you have the regular guy sitting on the couch that'll be able to join the game. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then we have NVIDIA betting big on India. That's right, the emerging markets, $1.4 billion, part of the BRICS nation. And we know China took all the manufacturing, but India took the customer service jobs and IT jobs away from Americans. Now what's happening? AI is taking it from the Indians. And now you're going to see that manufacturing move from China over to India. India is going to be that new manufacturing hub. You're talking about, again, 1.4 billion people. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then we have the Fed. And guys, don't forget, the real weapon is the economy, especially if you're able to print your own money. You're controlling the money supply. And we're seeing every part of this economy being destroyed so AI can come in and be the fix. And like Alex Sherman stated when he interviewed Adam Silver, these AI robots, algorithms, and drones, you can't complain to them. They don't call out sick. They work 24/7. And they're going to boost productivity so then therefore the sheep can sit at home and get free money. But little do the people know that money is going to be programmable. Being able to tell you what, when, and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And so the people don't get bored and don't uprise. Of course, they're going to have that metaverse. So therefore, you'll be able to travel from the couch. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
You just explain what you mean.
Chairman-elect.
Why don't you explain what you mean by saying this goes against what the Fed had been saying up to this point with their policy?
So they've had different theories, Becky, about causes of inflation, the measures they use, and people in financial markets and media have tried to follow those. They said for a long time, you'll recall a few years ago, they were for flexible average inflation targeting. So inflation, when it was at 1.7, they said we'll get it a little higher and we'll try to bounce around 2. They seem to have gotten rid of that idea without replacing it, so they don't have a broad new strategy. Then they said for a long time what really matters is core PCE. That's what we should focus on. But it's now running at around 2.7%, nowhere near their 2% range. About a year ago, they said, well, the best measure of inflation is now what they created a new category, and they said it was core services X housing. Well, that's in the 4s. Previously, Janet Yellen, and embedded in the Fed model, said what really matters is wages. And so we need wages to run at 3%, which is consistent with inflation running around 2. Wages are running around 4. So all of this isn't to say that all this is to say they don't seem to have a serious theory of inflation that's theoretical and empirical. It's not obvious that they acknowledge what their role is in prices. Instead, it has something to do with wars and pandemics. I think in a world this dangerous, in economic policy where fiscal policy is irresponsible, The central bank needs to be very clear about its reaction function, be clear about its goals, and not look like it's lurching. That's what put us in the mess we have.
I understand your point. I will say I can understand their perspective if they're saying, look, it was inflation. Inflation's been coming down. Now maybe we need to pay attention to our other mandate, which is the jobs market. However, the jobs numbers have been better than anticipated, too, over this time. I can understand moving around and saying there are things that are more important at different points in time. What do you think about the dissent that there was at the last meeting, and do you think there will be more at this meeting?
Yeah, so it's a fair point. So what you're really saying is they've claimed that they're data dependent.
Right.
And when times change, they should change. Well, of course that's right. I can't argue with that. The data, since early part of the summer, has gotten better. The economy's gotten stronger. The broad sense of the data is the economy's in better shape.
Stock market.
Well, the stock market is in better shape. So if that's all true, then maybe they're not data dependent. I do not want to be the person accusing them of politics. That is not the central bank I know. The members of the FOMC that I know, they don't play politics. But when you don't have a theory of the case and you don't follow it, it is easy to get that accusation, and it's harder for people like me to defend them.
So why do you... Oh, go.
Did you see...
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leverage to technology, and I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust. And we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.